How's it going, everyone? So I've got some spare parts of the Carnage figure, the EX limited edition clear version, which if you had seen my video, you knew that this thing here broke at the hip right here. You can see the ball joint is missing, but I managed to get some parts. But before we go into those, I actually did buy a bootleg as well, which is this Carnage here. So I thought I might just get some spare joints from this Carnage bootleg and then replace it with that. But the joints are completely different and the figure is quite different. It's a little bit smaller as well. Forget the bootleg, save your money and just try and get the legit copy if you can, whether it's the clear one or the original color version as well. So basically, I got in touch with Hobby Genki. Shout out to them. Big appreciation. Super happy with them. So I bought this figure from them. Actually, they were like my third party because this figure was actually a 7net exclusive. So I reached out to them. I got the figure from them originally, and then I reached out to them once this damage happened, the break in the ball joint. And then they said they'll get in touch with Kyoto to see what happens. They said they will let me know what would happen, but they didn't actually let me know. But instead, I actually got a new delivery today, which was of Dragon Ball Fig Arts, and this was actually in the box. So they did actually action it. So I'm very pleased about their service and just the Kyoto delivering on spare parts. This isn't the first time I've received spare parts from Kyoto. So if you saw my Captain America Revoltech, I did have damage on that one as well. That I originally bought that figure from Nippon Yasan, and they managed to sort that one out for me, but I don't use them anymore since their service just dropped. But let's go through the figure and I'll try and get this repaired. Hopefully I don't damage anything in the process of repairing it, because that can be quite common. So nothing here is broken apart from here. So what I did when I was trying to get this bit repaired, so this is actually the broken bit. When I was trying to get some sort of fix to this, I just took off the arms and stuff just to make it a little bit easier. This upper chest piece took ages to get off. It's very tough to take it off. But the actual damage, let's have a look at it. So this is where the damage is right here inside. So this is actually the lower portion, his abs. And then the ball joint got stuck right inside. And what I tried to do was excavate it a little bit. I drilled into it a little bit and then try to get it, kind of cave it out a bit as much as I could. And hopefully try and get another joint in there. That, or actually get it removed. My initial thought was to remove this. I couldn't do it. Instead, any screw I put in there just got stuck in it and broke in there, so I had to drill it out. And then that's as far as I got. Now my idea or plan was to, like I said, use a ball joint from the replacement figure, which is completely different, by the way. I'll actually show you that. So how we see this here, and then the actual joint here. This is it. You can see the spare one here, right here. The actual bootleg one is nothing like this. So I'll just take it off at the leg, for example. You can see this is completely different. It's a tiny little hole. And then at the top there, this is completely different. It's not even the same as regular Carnage, so we'll just leave the bootleg to the side. So as I was saying, yeah, I was hoping to just kind of excavate that and then maybe if use the joint there. That didn't happen. I was then going to use a ball screw and then a magnet on this piece, glue some magnet onto here. Some really tiny magnets, which I saw you could get. I could get these off eBay, and then that would just give me the kind of movement that I need. But that was going to be my very last resort. In the end, I got these parts, so that's really awesome. Obviously, this is going to be no use to me, or not much use to me now, because yeah, I would have to clean it out. So it's really amazing that just by providing the video link and then pictures, they just gave me exactly what I needed. Taking this bit off though, the chest was very hard off of the actual abs. This is on a big fat transparent ball there, and it was just on super snug. Very good, obviously, but when it comes to trying to repair it, it took a bit of time, so I did use a hairdryer to take it off. So let's get these open, and then let's try and get this thing back together, and hopefully I can, yeah, just be satisfied and happy finally. So this is the actual joint here, so in a wrap. So because you can't see the original one, because that's just been caved in now and broken. So this is the actual joint here. So this is where the abs would sit, and then the legs would attach here. Really simple, to be quite honest. And then it broke around here. There is like that plastic snapped off bit there, I guess, when they manufacture it. So that's probably why it broke, and plus being stuck inside the abs. And then this is how it is here. So I'm going to have to use a hairdryer because it is quite tight to do it. But we're still going to try anyway. So I have my trusty hairdryer here. Tresemme one, so use that, but use it carefully so you don't melt the entire figure. So I'm going to do that off camera so I don't kind of accidentally damage anything, and then I'll come back in and fit them in, and hopefully this will go perfectly smoothly. Let's try again after using the blow dryer a little bit more. There we go. So that's in. So hopefully that's all good. No damage there. So that's the first bit done. That's not the bit that's actually broken. Now I need to get the actual replacement joint into there. So I'm going to now do the hairdryer in this socket here, and then plug this in, and then we'll go with the legs. There we go. That's in. Got that joint in. Okay. So that's in there now, and it's still quite tight. My worry now then, actually, so hopefully that was not all entirely off camera. So this is still very, very tight. And then I feel like I can see a little bit of a faint kind of crease. You know, when the plastic, as you bend it, goes a little bit light color. That may be happening there, but I'm not 100% sure. But I'm a little bit kind of concerned about it. So what I might do is, once I've attached everything, I might not use the joint too much. Let's see. So now we can actually just attach the legs and such. So we just need to attach this here, and then grab the relevant leg. So we've got his right leg here. I think this might actually need the hairdryer as well. Let's just try and plug it in and see what happens. Yeah, definitely going to need the hairdryer, I think. So back to the hairdryer. I'm just still, again, conscious because of the way this joint is like a T-shape. I don't want to damage any one of the balls. Which I know that sounds a bit weird, but I don't want it to happen. So I'd rather go slow and steady and get it done than just damaged. So it feels like it's going in. This sounds all weird. All the word choices I'm using sounds very weird, I know, but it sounds like this ball joint is going into the socket. But I'm going to give it another hairdryer moment, and then let's see what happens. Let's resume the connection. There we go, that's in. And now we've got to do the same thing for the other leg. There we go. Both legs are now actually attached to the figure. So that pretty much completes the actual overall damage bit. We're going to attach his arms as well and his head to complete the figure and make sure that he is all good to go. So attach the arms and the shoulder joints. These are on pegs. These are pretty easy to do. And actually, because it's a Robotech, they might be loose for you. And over time, they'll loosen up anyway. Then we can attach his hands. Yes, just go with the fist. We've got the fist here. So the rest is all pretty straightforward to do. You would have seen how I would swap parts in the main video, but we're going to assemble the full figure properly because he's finally fixed all into an easy mode, or thanks to an easy mode of getting replacement parts rather than trying to do some makeshift thing myself with magnets and so on and so forth. So I'm very glad that it's been fixed. So let me just attach his head and then we'll have a proper look at the figure. So it's got to attach his head. This one over cool, you got to line up properly there. There we go. Let's have a proper look at him now. So here's the fixed Carnage. Now, if you've got similar repairs to do with your figures, after you've heated them up a bit, make sure you give it some time to cool down so you don't accidentally pull out the joints again. But in any case, this Carnage seems to be repaired. Now, I hopefully don't do any extra damage to it inadvertently just by using him later on. I have a feeling it might happen just because it's a Robotech figure, but touch wood, that does not happen. But, you know, I covered the figure already, so all the articulation, all of that good stuff has been covered in a separate video. But here, we'll just cover the lower ab twist, which he does finally have now. And just by having that, gives him that extra kind of leaning forward, which he didn't have before once he broke. With the magnets, my thought or kind of solution was to use magnets. He may have not been able to go so far. A little bit would have been done, twisting at least, an upright twist. But yeah, this, when I was playing with the figure, I did get some photos of it, but I didn't realize, or I just thought maybe there's something wrong. It's just too stiff. It was weaken or loosen up over time, and then it broke. So now that I've got it back, it's awesome to see that I can actually get him into really amazingly deep kind of crunching poses. It's amazing. It's amazing. The original Carnage could do that as well. So just to kind of quickly recap, this is the damage. So this is the lower ab that was originally with this figure. The ball joint got stuck inside. I tried to excavate it to no avail. And this is the actual joint that attaches to the two legs and then into the lower abs as well. And that snapped off there. So I couldn't do anything with it. Obviously, I stressed this a bit too much because you can see the stress marks there. So hopefully that doesn't happen with the other joint there. Now we'll bring out the actual original version of Carnage just to do a very kind of quick comparison. I'm not going to go into too much detail because I have covered original Carnage before as well. Basically though, they are the same figure. They are the same height. Everything about them is the same. The articulation is the same. The sculpt is the same. Pretty much everything is the same. Even the accessories and all of that is the same. And yeah, the main difference is of course the way they look. So on the right, you've got the original version in the more comic book look, just to kind of red, solid red and black. And then on the left, you've got a much more different look with the kind of translucent red, or clear as they call it for this particular product. So remember, this was released to commemorate the release of Venom Let There Be Carnage movie in Japan. So that's why this is a Japan only at this point in time anyway. But to be honest, I like both versions of the figure. Both, I don't know, like when this one came out, I was in love with this figure. Now this is out, I'm in love with this figure, but I love both versions of them. You really can't do wrong, but I'm still going to give the edge a little bit to this one because you can see it's translucent, and once you've got some solid light conditions happening with this, the light bouncing off of it onto your display is going to be so good. Just kind of the red's kind of going through it and bouncing onto the background, things like that this figure obviously cannot do. But they're both very good figures at the end of the day, and they come with the exact same extras, so you'll get the same fun out of them. But this one is just going to be a bit more of a looker in my opinion. But hey, let's just give you a closer look at them side by side. I'm going to straighten the clear version out just to see. Hopefully I don't break anything in the process. I'm just really scared about it now. Like, you know, once it's damaged and you're just ultra paranoid about everything, right? Moving forward, that's how I am now with this Carnage. So here, let's just bring his face down a bit and see side by side. So to be honest, I don't think my video is really doing him justice. This is probably going to look a lot better in the video, but trust me, the left figure is very, very good. It's so good looking. The back joints, all of that, by the way, with the shoulders, all the same. He's got the same kind of plug sockets going on at the back as well. It's a little bit harder to see on the left one just because everything kind of blends in a lot more. The joints, maybe they might stick out a bit more for you on this one because of color difference, but you know, that's just being nitpicky, I suppose, at that point. But you know, they're both very, very awesome figures. If you missed out on them, this one you might still be able to get at a decent-ish price on some Japanese sites. This one, good luck, you're probably only going to be able to get it on eBay since it was a limited edition. But honestly, both versions are awesome figures. I love both of them. But the slight edge, my vote will go to this one. Very, very slightly. Very slightly. Be happy if you've got this one. Anyway, don't bother with the bootleg. Seriously. Anyway, again, massive shout out and thanks to Hobby Genki for sorting out the replacement parts. I'm super thrilled to have fixed it. That's amazing. And it didn't even take that long, so I'm very, very delighted with that. I totally recommend using them even more now, and I do use them quite a lot. So thanks to them. And I hope you had a good time watching this video to repair this figure. Check out the full video to see this guy or this guy and many other more videos of figures as well. Stay safe wherever you are, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!